So, why good employees go quiet before they quit. The employee you least expect to resign, the reliable one, the capable one, the one you never worry about, they've probably already decided to leave, you just haven't noticed it yet. The scariest part of all of this is that they told you, they just didn't tell you with their words, verbally. So today, we're going to unpack all of this. We're going to look at what the research says about silence before the resignation, what it means, why it happens, and how people professionals can actually start to retain people before that notice comes in. So, let us go.
Okay, let's go.
If you are new here, welcome to the channel. I'm Nick, I'm the Culture Doctor. I'm on a couple of journeys. I'm on a journey to become the thought leader in everything organizational culture, but I'm also here to make work more remarkable, and I do that through research and storytelling, data points, and providing brand new content every single Sunday. So if you like what you hear, tell your friends, and subscribe, like, share, comment, and tell me if this is resonating with you. So, problem we are going to be solving in this short video is, how do we save that employee who used to contribute in meetings, who used to push back in a good way on ideas, ask questions, and who slowly stopped doing all of those great and wonderful things? Because they seem fine, they're hitting their targets, there's no complaints. Problem is, we measure output. We don't actually measure the engagement signals, and by the time the output drops, it's just too late. Silence is not contentment, my friends. Silence is an active decision. So what is actually happening here beneath the surface? Well, there's a couple of pieces of research, a bit of thought leadership, and some papers I want to raise to the surface. I think it's really, really cool, really important. So framework one, we've got Hirschman's exit, voice, loyalty, and neglect model. So this was originally developed in economics, but it applies so perfectly to workplace behavior. So this is the gist of it. Employees tend to respond to dissatisfaction in work in one of four ways, right? So people leave, they speak up, they share their voice, they sort of stay loyal with the hope that it's going to get better, or they just disengage and neglect entirely. And the dangerous transition here is from speaking up to neglect. So when someone stops speaking up, it means they've stopped believing it's going to make any form of difference. This resonates, this hits as a HR professional, right? Because this is the moment that we miss most, because the employee is normally still showing up, doing their work and hitting targets, but there's so much happening beneath the surface. Framework 2, it's from Gallup, their engagement and retention data. They found that 51% of exiting employees say their manager could have done something to retain them. Over half. This is painful, right? And more powerfully, most of those people who left, most of them say that no one asked them how they were actually feeling in the months before they handed their notice in and they left the building, which is crazy. No one checked in, because the exit interview, it captures what the stay interview could have prevented. We're not doing this enough, right? We are so brilliant at autopsies. We need to get much better at checkups. Third and final framework, one of my favorite authors, organizational psychologist Adam Grant, his work on languishing. I love this word, but obviously it's a danger word in workplace. But languishing, this is the state between thriving and burnout. It's not broken, it's just hollow. There's just nothing in there. You're just on autopilot. Languishing employees, they tend not to raise red flags because they're not performing badly. They're just performing flatly. There's just nothing behind the eyes. It's exactly the kind of profile of the employee who quietly quits before they actually quit. This is where we see quietly quitting coming in, this idea of languishing. And the problem with languishing is it's contagious, right? One quiet, languishing, disengaged person can shift an entire team's energy without anyone actually identifying, understanding the source of all this cynicism. So, 3 stages of going quiet, right? Stage 1, the withdrawal of the voice. This great person, they stop contributing. They stop sharing ideas in meetings. They're shorter with their responses. These are things to look out for, right? Their emails, their teams, their Slack messages, they get shallower. They stop pushing back and sharing their thoughts when they really should. Problem is, for managers, they see that as something, well, oh, it's all right, my team members matured. They're less reactive. It's completely the wrong read entirely, right? Third stage of this is withdrawal of effort. So once the voice goes, the effort goes with it. They do exactly what is required, nothing more than just the discretionary effort. Everything else sort of disappears. So they stop volunteering for projects. They stop proactively mentoring others. They just don't go above and beyond what is literally written on the job description. And it's what we're asking them to do. But you see high performers, they rip those job descriptions up and they create their own pathways. Final stage is the entire withdrawal of their own identity. So they actually stop talking about the future. So they stop talking about next year or where they want to move to in their career. All of those noises, those cues that we should be so dialed into, they disappear. They just become transactional. They clock in, they deliver, they clock out. And this is the stage. This is the stage where the decision from the employee is like, I'm already gone. For me, this is it. So by the time you notice stage 3, you're not in a retention conversation. You are in a notice period that hasn't really been handed in yet, but it's imminent. It's like a ticking time bomb. But we can save this. We can retain those wonderful human beings. We can fix this. So the first thing to do, and I suggest, is rethink your listening infrastructure. If you're just relying on exit interviews or pulse checks and engagement surveys, they're either too late or they might be too shallow. You need to build in regular qualitative stay interviews at team level, not just the annual reviews, right? We've got to train managers to read silence as a data point, not something to brush under the rug, because most managers, unfortunately, are rewarded for hitting numbers and not noticing people. And HR's job is to change what managers pay attention to, right? Map these humans, map your quiet high performers, identify these people in your organization who are delivering, but they are invisible. They are your highest flight risk that you didn't even know about. And they have options, by the way. These people are having conversations and they know it outside your organization to take on the next step. Ask better questions. Get people asking much better questions. Like, how are you is fine, but what's getting in your way and what would make work feel more meaningful for you right now is way more powerful, because specificity unlocks honesty. And you've got to act on what you hear, because the fastest way to accelerate someone's decision whether they want to stay or leave is to ask how they feel and then do absolutely fuck all about it, right? If you open the door, you've got to walk through it with them. You can't push them through it and expect things to take their own flight on their own. That employee, that person who seems fine, just check in with them, not with a form or a system, but a genuine human conversation, right? My diagnosis for all of this is that silence in a workplace is not peaceful. It's a diagnostic. And the organizations that learn to read it will hold on to the people. Everyone else loses. So if you're in HR, if you're a people professional, if you're a manager who wants it, if you're a leader, and this resonates, pop it in the comments. Like, what signal are you seeing from your quiet high performers? How are you retaining your best people? Anything I've missed, share it, so we can build this wonderful knowledge bank to keep the best people within our 4 walls. That's it this week. Have a wonderful week ahead. I'll see you next time as we start to dive into the things that are going to make work even more remarkable. Ciao.
Go.